Update 1. My dad was so focused on becoming the perfect father to my stepsister that he accidentally left me at the mall in another state and went back home with her. I thought I was just another casualty of a messy divorce. However, one story my mom posted on Snapchat revealed something I didn't expect. It was finally my birthday, but I honestly wish that we never went on this stupid road trip because I learned that you can't always rely on the people you're supposed to rely on. After my father and I had that heated argument, the rest of the trip was just sour. I just wanted the trip to end because this was not how I imagined my birthday weekend. While I was preparing myself breakfast, I saw that I received a birthday message from my mom. She'd always sent me a birthday message, but I never knew how to respond to it since those were the only messages I would get from her. My father wished me a happy birthday and asked what I wanted to do for the day. I told him that I wanted to check out the aquarium. Ginny groaned and said that aquariums were boring, but I ignored her and showed my father which one I wanted us to go to. I regretted choosing the aquarium because I was unable to enjoy it. My stepsisters just kept complaining the whole time we were there. They kept asking when we were going to go to the mall, and at some point, it was so irritating that I lashed out. I mean, they were ruining my day with their annoying, whiny voices. My stepmother then scolded me and asked that I not act like a spoiled brat. I could tell that my stepsisters were also annoying my dad, but he was putting up a fake happy facade, which I was used to. He hardly ever reprimanded my stepsisters and would always just take their side whenever we got into conflicts. They eventually went to check out the gift store while I continued with the tour of the aquarium. I never got to do anything I wanted because my stepsisters would always overrule me. I took many pictures and even bought myself a cool bracelet. By the time I found them by the gift shop, they had already bought half the store. My stepmother asked why I had taken so long, and I obviously just ignored her. She tried to get my father to reprimand me, but he changed the subject by suggesting that we head to the mall. My stepsisters were ecstatic when we got to the mall. They immediately rushed into an expensive clothing store. I asked my father if I could look around, but as usual, he was not paying attention to me, so I just walked off. While I was looking around, I received a message from my grandma. She was also wishing me a happy birthday, and as much as I appreciated the message, it still stunned that we were no longer close. I also saw that my father had been posting a lot on Facebook, and as always, he was posting about how he was so proud of himself and how he had been raising me on his own for the past 3 years. My father's fatherhood was everything to him, and he felt like he deserved to be praised for it. I got tired of walking around and tried looking for my father and stepfamily. I couldn't find them, and I was starting to feel anxious. I called my father, but he didn't answer. I then called my stepmother and sisters, but they also didn't answer. I tried my father again, but his phone eventually just went to voicemail. Well, I started panicking, and I could feel tears welling up in my eyes. Guys, it's been an hour since I've been looking for them, and I'm still trying to find my father, but I can't help but panic. This is why I'm writing here, guys. I honestly just don't know what else to do. What should I do? Should I just continue looking for them? Here is your story with corrected spelling, grammar, and punctuation, while keeping the original context intact. Update 2. Hey guys, so a week has actually passed, and what a week it's been. I never thought I would experience anything that traumatic in my entire life. After spending exactly 2 long hours looking for my father, I saw on Joanne's Snapchat story that they were on their way back home. My body immediately froze, and I broke down in tears right there in the middle of the mall. I couldn't believe that my father had left me. I was beyond confused because how do you leave your kid? Luckily, the security guard assisted me, and since my father was not answering my calls, I had no choice but to call my mom. I had to first text her and ask if I could call, and she immediately called me back. Once I explained everything to her, she was fuming with anger and was cursing out my dad. She told me that she would book a flight and fly me out to her. The next 24 hours were obviously chaotic, as you can imagine. I had to spend the night alone at another Airbnb. My father had left all my things at the Airbnb we had been staying at, and my heart was aching and in pain. I took the first flight out, and when I noticed that I was flying back home, I was a bit confused because my mother had told me I would be staying with her. But things got cleared up once I landed. It turns out that after the divorce, my mother never left our hometown. She explained that my father had been keeping me away from her. She said that she had wanted them to split custody 50-50, but my father just agreed and told her that he would take care of me while she figured things out in life, only for him to file for sole custody and make it seem like she was an irresponsible mother to the entire court. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that my dad was the main reason I didn't have a relationship with my mom. He had made it seem like my mother never wanted me. It actually warmed my heart to know that my mom never abandoned me like my father had told me. At first, my mom wanted to confront my dad, but I asked her not to, and she agreed. However, she said that she was not going to let this slide and that it's time for her to fight for her custody rights. She then told me that I could stay with her for as many days as I wanted, which I obviously appreciated because I didn't want to go back to my dad. A couple of days later, I bumped into my stepsisters, who were obviously very confused to see me at school. I completely ignored them and continued with my day. When I got back to my mother's place, I checked my phone and saw that I had over 10 missed calls, all from my dad. I was tempted to call him back, but I fought the urge. I'm going to make my father pay for everything he has put me and my mother through for the last 3 years. I'm not going to let him get away with mistreating and neglecting me while also keeping me away from my mother. I'm going to make sure he suffers the consequences of his actions. What would you do if you were in my situation? Am I wrong for deciding to believe my mom without even knowing if she's telling the truth? I'll update you soon, guys.